I used to think that if you were talented enough, people would actually notice. Now, I don't think that's true at all. Not because talent doesn't get noticed. I used to think that if you were talented enough, people would eventually notice. Now, I don't think that is true at all. Not because talent does not matter. Talent matters, skills matter, being good matters. The internet does not automatically reward the best person. It rewards the person whose proof is easiest to see. That is that's a very different game because you can be extremely talented, you can do deeply capable work, you can know how to solve real problems, you can have years of experience, you could have a mind full of ideas. None of that is visible. The market treats it like it doesn't exist. And I think that is where a lot of smart people get stuck. They're waiting to be discovered. They are waiting for someone to understand them. They're waiting for the right client, the right platform, the right opportunity, the right moment. The truth is, you cannot wait for people to understand the depth. You have to build a system that makes the depth obvious. That is the difference between having talent and having a visible system. Talent says, I can do this. A visible system says, watch me do this over and over and over again. Talent says, trust me. A visible system says, here's the evidence. Talent says, I have a potential. A visible system says, here's what my potential produces. That is where I think creators build and business owners need to shift, because AI has made the surface level of everything cheaper. Copy is cheaper, design is cheaper, ideas are cheaper, content is cheaper, basic software is cheaper, basic automations are cheaper. Now the question is not, can you make something? The question is, can you show the thinking behind what you make? Can you build in public with enough clarity that people can see the difference between a prompt and a process? Because that is what separates people now. A prompt gives you an output, a process gives you leverage. A prompt gives you a result once, a system gives you repeated results. A prompt can make something look good, a system can make something work. I think that is the lane I'm stepping into more intentionally. Not because being a person who uses AI, but being a person who builds the systems around AI. Because the system is where the real value is. The data, workflow, the memory, the feedback loop, the testing, the routing, the publishing, the measurement, the follow-up, the dashboard, the distribution, the learning loop. That is the stuff most people skip. That is also the stuff that makes the difference, because anyone can generate one good post, but you can generate a content machine that gets smarter over time. Anyone can write one email. You can build an email system that knows where the lead is in the journey. Anyone can make one automation. You can build a workflow that survives real business chaos. Anyone can build one landing page. You can build a funnel that listens, learns, and improves. The difference is that right there. I think that is where my engineering background starts to matter, because engineering taught me not to just look at the outputs. It taught me to look at the system. When something fails, you do not just say, oh, it's broken. You ask yourself, where is the failure happening? Is it the input? Is it the constraint? Is it the timing? Is it the environment? Is it the logic? Is it the feedback? Is it the assumption? Is it the model? Is it the measurement? That way of thinking is not just useful in engineering, it's useful in business, and it's useful in content. It's useful in marketing. It's useful in AI. It's useful in everything, because most people are trying to fix outcomes when they should be redesigning systems. They say I need more clients. Maybe the system has no proof. They say I need more views. Maybe the system has no clear narrative. They say I need better content. Maybe the system has no source material. They say I need more leads. Maybe the system has no trust built into it. They say I need to use AI. Maybe I have no process for what AI is supposed to prove. That is why talent alone is not enough, because talent without a system becomes invisible. You might be good, the world cannot see how good you are. You might be experienced, the market cannot feel that experience. You might have a powerful story, Nobody knows how to place you in their mind. That is the danger, because when people cannot place you, they forget you. Not because you're not valuable, because your value has not been shaped into something memorable. That is why I keep thinking about building a public proof engine. Not just posting randomly, not just chasing trends, not just making content because people say consistency matters. Building a system where every piece of content becomes evidence. Evidence of how I think, evidence of what I build, evidence of what I understand, evidence of what I could help people do, evidence of the problems I am equipped to solve. That is the game, because one video can get attention, a body of work builds belief. One post can get likes, a system or proof builds trust. One viral moment can make people notice, repeated evidence makes people remember. I think that is where a lot of people need to move next. From content creation to evidence creation. From posting ideas to proving availability. From saying what they need to showing how they think. Because when you show how you think, you stop competing only on deliverables. You start competing on judgment. And judgment is valued, especially now. Because in a world where AI can generate options, people need something who can choose the right option. They need someone who can ask better questions. They need someone who can tell the difference between something that looks impressive and something that actually solves a problem. They need someone who can turn scattered tools into an operating system. That is what I want. I work to communicate. I'm not just here to make random AI content. I'm here to show off software. I'm not here to show off software. I'm here to help you think about building a visible operating system around ideas and products. How products become content, how content becomes trust, how trust becomes clients, how clients becomes case studies, how case studies become authority, how authority becomes a real business asset. That is a loop. Once you see it like that, you stop asking, what should I post today? You start asking, what part of the system needs proof today? Do I need to prove I can think strategically? Do I need to prove that I can build technically? Do I need to prove I understand business owners? Do I need to prove I can explain complex ideas simply? Do I need to prove I can ship? Do I need to prove I can measure results? Do I need to prove that I can make something useful? That question changes everything, because content is not random. Content becomes a public interface for your competence. That is such a powerful reframe. Your content is not just content, it is the front end of your mind. It is the visible layer of your operating system. It is how people inspect your judgment before they ever work with you. That means your content should not just be about entertaining, it should be about revealing the machine behind the person. The way you notice problems, the way you make connections, the way you explain things, the way you design solutions, the way you build, the way you test, the way you learn, the way you come back after something does not work. That is where trust comes in. It's not perfection, it's visibility. Not pretending everything is easy, showing a system that helps you keep going. That is why I think the next era of personal branding is not about looking successful, it's about making your thinking observable. Because once people can observe your thinking, they can start to believe you in their judgment. Once they believe in your judgment, they can trust your offers. Once they trust your offers, they can become clients, customers, subscribers, collaborators, or supporters. But it starts with visibility. Not visibility for attention only, but visibility for proof. That is the key. I think this is the move for me. To stop treating my skills like hidden assets and start tuning them into public systems. My engineering background becomes public proof. My old notes become public articles. My automations become public demonstrations. My apps become public case studies. My scripts become public thinking. My experiments become public lessons. My failures become public refinement. My wins become public evidence. All of that compounds, because the more evidence you can create, the less you have to convince people from scratch. They could see the problem, they could see the work, they could see the seriousness, they could see the difference. That is how a name becomes stronger, because not because you shout it louder, but because you gave people more reasons to believe. If you are talented but you feel unseen, the answer may not become louder. it may become more observable. Show the process, show the system, show the thinking, show the proof, show the transformation. Show what you are building and why it matters, because the internet may not reward talent automatically, it does reward visible evidence. If you could build enough evidence around your name, people stop asking what you do, and they start saying, I know exactly why I need you.